You guys hear it? Is it working?
Yep.
Oh, thank you!
Don't
I
thank
see
me.
a timer. Okay, there we go.
Right.
So, awkward silence.
We're all waiting for you.
Alright. So, we're here with Dragon Tamer. Say hi, Dragon Tamer.
Hello.
Yay! Hi. And we're going to conduct that interview that we promised you guys. So, Dragon Tamer, tell us, how old are you?
Old enough to vote, enlist, be drafted, drive, drink, although I never plan to, marry, and keep a secret.
Nice.
What the heck, I'm 21.
Okay, cool. I'll be 21 in about 2 weeks, so that's awesome. Alright, what's your biggest inspiration?
In writing?
Yeah, in writing, in creating anything that involves creativity, I guess.
Well, that's still pretty much writing for me, but I get a lot of ideas from the Bible in one way or another.
Okay.
For instance...
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, for example, as it says in the profiles I have set up for my Toby characters so far, they were inspired, no, not inspired so much, but they were developed off of stories about dragons I was writing, which were themselves designed to teach biblical principles, not always directly based on stories like, say, David and Goliath, although there's some of that in there. And that largely carried over into the Toby series.
Okay. Interesting. All right, let's see.
Okay, so the next question here is, what would you say has made one? Excuse me a sec. What would you say has made one? Oh my gosh, I can't read that question.
You won. That's Dragon.
Okay. The question is, what would you say has made you one of the more popular authors here?
Well, I think it's that when I write, I don't just write going, what's going to entertain people. I try to write stuff that will please them, of course. But at the same time, I want it to be something that will really speak to them, and they'll really get something out of. The way I see it, you give people that, they'll keep coming back for more. You find a need and you fill it.
Okay. Cool.
That's rather interesting, yeah.
Yeah. So, why do you like to write?
I guess it's just something I grew up with. My mom always made it a point when my brothers and I were growing up to read to us whenever possible, so I developed a taste for books early on. And I've never been the type to just sit passively by with something. I want to add to it. I want to get involved.
Okay. Interesting. So, it really wasn't on the roster of questions, but did your parents or does anybody else you know in your family write a lot?
Not a whole lot. My dad recently mentioned something about writing an article for a motorcycle magazine.
Well, I guess that counts too.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, true.
Alright, cool. Let's see. Of all your characters, whom would you say are you most similar to?
Toby.
Toby? Why's that?
Well, he's a lot like me in many ways. He wants to do the right thing whenever possible, but like just about anybody, he messes up sometimes.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, true.
Would you consider it's a you know, as you know, it's a little popular thing going on, especially on Baltosaurus and so on. But would you consider Toby as a sort of persona in that regards?
I suppose so.
Cool.
So, why do you think the Toby series has gotten such a large following?
Well, aside from what I said before, that I try to produce something that readers will really get something out of, I guess it's just that I don't try to ignore the timeless things that are essential to everything, really. The basic virtues, courage, respect for others. I mean, if you try to toss those aside, you've basically lost the whole point of living. So I don't lose sight of those. I keep going with them. And I think that's a big part of the success.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And I'd actually say I agree. I've been following your Toby series quite closely myself.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
actually it's pretty great.
Thank you.
It's wonderfully written. I love the stories. I love the characters. They're really diverse.
Yeah. And,
I have to. Sorry.
now you go ahead.
I have to admit on the grounds that I haven't actually read any from you, Dragon Tamer, or actually anybody on the side as far as fan fictions go. But I guess I have something to do now. I look forward to it.
They're good reads. They
Yeah.
really are.
Yeah. You'll absolutely not regret it. You'll love his stories.
Hmm.
So,
Alright.
let's move on.